mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, so we're back. This episode is for Morris from America. This is the 2016 film about a father and son who are living in Germany, and they're sort of expats and what that's like. Sort of a coming-of-age story for the son and sort of a parallel situation for his father as well. So before we get into that, we do have some 5-star reviews. The first one is from Pod BlankyCast. The title is Thoughtful and Fun. Quote, when I'm upset about something in the news, this podcast covers it. When I want to enjoy a perspective on a movie I love or hate, it's nice. It's a nice comfort too. 5 stars. So thank you for that. The second one is from Turquoise Angel. The title is Only Way I Travel. Quote, this podcast is a must for a long drive. If you want to laugh out loud on a long, otherwise boring trip, since I have to travel an hour and a half once or twice a week, this is an amazing discovery. These young men are quite opinionated. No kidding. Their irreverent take on Negro classics, giving new perspective on some black films I grew up loving. The podcast also is giving me some new movies to appreciate. There are a lot of times when I flat out don't agree with their opinions, but the podcast is always fun nonetheless. Jay, Terrence, and Micah, I would love to hear your takes on CSA, the Confederate States of America. It was directed by Kevin Wilmot and is a mockumentary that explores what America would be like if the Confederates had won the Civil War.
Terrible.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare scenario. So thank you for that 5-star review as well. So make sure you get those in on iTunes. As long as they're 5 stars, we will read them on air. And no music. Okay, so Micah, take it away.
Opinions?
Yeah. Actually, Terrence, you want to start or you want me to start?
Do I want to start? Sure. It was fun. I actually like this movie. I would probably give it like a 3.5, 4 out of 5. That kid, what's his name?
Markees Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his real name.
That's apparently.
Markees Christmas. Interesting.
He was very good. Like, I've never seen him in anything. I don't think I've seen him in anything before. He was very good. Like Craig Robinson. Some characters in here that I don't really appreciate too much.
I can understand
We'll
that.
get into that. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. It's a good, I guess you could call it a coming-of-age story. Kid is only 13.
Yeah, it's a coming-of-age story.
13?
Like, he came of age really fast.
More on it, but then again, he was kind of by himself in Germany. So it's a fun movie. Like, I was surprised when I found out we were doing it. Like, I didn't know what the hell it was.
It's been under the radar.
Yeah. The only reason I found out about it is somebody on our fan group posted the trailer.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to do it.
All right.
Yeah, and it's a good movie.
Yep.
Worth watching.
Okay. For me, I thought it was, I'd probably give it 4 stars. I think it's a really solid coming of age movie. I mean, the movie takes place in Germany, but I think it does a good job of being sort of an allegory for growing up black in a largely white society anywhere in the world. Not just, it just makes it really apparent when you're in Germany and there's also a language barrier. So, I mean, you could take the same story and put it in Montana and it wouldn't be that different, except for everybody speaks English. Like it would be very similar. It's sort of an outsider's perspective and things like that, which I thought was.
I love guns.
What's that?
A lot more guns.
Just a lot more guns.
If it were in Montana.
But so that part I did appreciate. I thought Craig Robinson was good. I thought Senior Christmas was great. I enjoyed it. It was funny because my wife and I sat down to watch it, and she was getting ready to run into an errand. She was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sit and watch 5 minutes of it." And it's like, okay, it's been an hour and 40 minutes, and the movie is over, and just never moved. So it does suck you in right away, which I appreciated. And the soundtrack was very good.
Most of it.
Yeah, okay, the rap parts of it were good. The rest of it was not my thing, except for Craig Robinson's rapping, which was horrible. But besides that, yeah, 4 stars.
Oh, Craig Robinson's rapping and Markees Christmas's rapping was.
I thought that kid was not as bad as.
Okay.
All right,
I'll give you a lyric that you can defend when we get into it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, you go ahead and defend it.
I'll defend these lyrics.
Yeah, man, this movie was really
Not
good.
2 at a time lyrics.
We full disclosure, we thought we were going to do another movie. And I started watching that movie, and I said, we probably shouldn't do this movie. So we decided to pick this one, and I'm glad I did, because it's very good. I generally don't like child actors, but Markees Christmas.
Or children in general.
Or children in general. Get out of here. It's full of disease and annoyance.
Mostly annoyance, yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. Craig Robinson, nice to see him. He did a dramatic turn, but was still funny.
Yeah, I feel like that's where his career is kind of going.
Yeah, and I like the father-son dynamic.
Yes.
It's a positive father-son relationship, which we just don't see. We don't see that in real life, let alone art.
Right. I mean, that's probably the biggest takeaway, is that you have a positive relationship between a father and son, and there's no mother involved in this story, literally at all.
Right. And yeah, like you said, I don't think we've done a movie where it's like most of our movies generally are fish out of water movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the Black experience.
Right, because it's the Black experience. But like you said, to couple that with a severe cultural difference.
Yeah, it's pretty different.
It's something very, very unique.
Spoiler alert, Germany is like the whitest country in the world. It just is, and that's fine. I mean, I don't think they could have picked a better example of Black New Yorkers. Which country could we send? Yeah, Germany, that's about right. It's just super white, it is.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed the movie. I'd probably give it a 4 or 5.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good surprise. But the funny thing is, I didn't realize until I really started watching it. Yeah, it's an A24 film. Of course it's good, because almost everything they produce is excellent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're a really good production studio, man.
They're good at picking movies. They did, if you don't know, Ex Machina.
Which was the Amy Winehouse documentary.
Yeah, I mean, they're just really good at picking work.
Most Violent Year.
Yeah, Most Violent Year is A24 as well.
Oh, Yellow. Is that his name? He was in that.
Oh, yeah. Yellow.
And Isaac, Oscar Isaac. Isaac Hayes. Oscar Isaac. Yeah, he was a star. So, all right, Micah, take us through it.
So the movie opens up with Morris and his dad listening to J-Roo. And his dad, Curtis, is explaining to him why this music is good, right? And Morris is like, no, where's the hook?
It's too slow.
It's too slow. He was like, what, the beat? No, the beat ain't slow. It's the lyrics, it's too slow. And Curtis is like, go to your room. And Morris is like, why? Because you like terrible music.
You know what? This might be the realest thing in the entire movie to me.
And
I would also send my kids to their room for really, Biggie sucks. Okay, well, get out of my face.
I went to a barbecue over my mom's side of the family.
Oh boy.
And they had the little stolen wireless speaker out there blasting 92Q, and I'm sitting there, my sister's here, my sister's across from me, and my wife's across from me, and this other woman is across, and I'm just looking at my sister with disgust, because I'm like, all this shit sounds the same. And she's like, no, it doesn't. And I said, yes, it does. I said, some song came on, and we were all the old people.
Now, for people listening or watching, what's your sister's age?
My sister is,
I don't know.
27, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Because we're about 10 years apart. So she's 27.
I love how you don't know, by the way. Whatever.
No, whatever. She's 10 years younger than me.
Let's go with 27.
10 years younger than I am.
And some song came on, and Kanye West was a guest, he was featured on it.
Right.
And my sister was like, that's not Kanye West, that's Shorty Doo-Wop or whatever. I don't know, Shorty Q or something.
Little Uzi Vert, one of those ridiculous names.
And then,
God, we're so old, by the way.
And then, DJ Squirrel Wide or whatever, whoever it was came on, and he was like, oh, this is Shorty Doo-Wop featuring Kanye West. I'm like, oh, so we were all right. And I said, you know why you don't know? Because all that shit sounds the same.
Yeah.
And then a Drake song came on. It's just like, dude, this sound like everything else? I said, it sound like every Drake song.
Yeah, that's true. It does.
So get out of here.
Look, I mean, I don't mind Drake, but yeah, all of his songs generally sound the
Music
same.
stinks.
Now,
Now.
yeah, this is the sign that you're old.
Yeah, man.
And this is why you got to send your kid to bed early without dinner if they disrespect you.
Disrespect Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, exactly. Look, that,
Jack-
look,
Look,
rooted down.
I like that idea. I'm taking a lot of notes on on fatherhood from Craig Robinson.
of all people, yeah. Look, he's got some good ideas, man. He
So
does.
you don't remember who it was on the radio at all?
It's something Q.
Schoolboy Q?
Schoolboy Q, that's it.
Oh, I don't mind Schoolboy Q. He's got some pretty decent.
I don't know who that is.
I've never seen him.
I don't know who
I
it
just
is.
I know a couple of
Who
his
he
songs.
is.
It sounded like a different song. It was, I can't even, like, I don't know.
I don't like a
Sound
lot of
every
new.
song on the radio.
Right,
What you just did?
right.
Yeah, that sounds.
You could have a record deal, man. That's like $1 million.
Now, we always said all we need to do is just come
One
up with
dumb
one dumb song, like the thong song,
Yeah.
or Who Let the Dogs Out, or whatever.
Yeah, look, I'm not looking for a career. I'm just looking for an easy buck.
Right. That's it, man.
I want to buy a boat. Have people work on it.
So shortly after, Curtis goes up to Morris's room. He's like, "All right, you're ungrounded. Let's go out." And they go out, and you see them walking around in their New York gear, right? Like they got Yankees hats on and Yankees coats on.
It's funny because at this point you have no idea that it doesn't take place in the U.S.
I didn't know at all. And
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know until they panned out. You pan out and you see that you are not in New York. You are in some other country. And I didn't know. And I was like, oh, like they're not in New York. And my wife was like, duh, dummy.
Did you
like,
watch the trailer?
Pretty much. She was just like, I got that from the trailer. And that's the thing. She wouldn't let go of it for like 5 minutes.
Oh, she got you on something in a
She
movie.
got me on something regarding a movie.
Right.
And I just had to sit there and eat it. Because,
Like,
know.
look at all of these German architecture and everything else. Did you think this was Brooklyn?
so.
I didn't see the trailer at all, so I was shocked. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now?
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
why.
I had no idea that it took place, and then
Heidelberg,
Yeah.
Germany.
So,
I don't know if
but,
it's a real place.
so we pull out, movie takes place in Germany. It's like, oh, okay. Then we get to the title credit, Morris in America, from America. And we see Morris with his German language tutor, Inka.
Yeah.
And she asks him, are you making friends? Are you getting to know people? And he's just like, So Morris, next scene we see Morris and he's walking home and he's walking on a bridge and he looks over the bridge and he sees a old dirty nudie magazine.
first of all, that nigga got like eagle eye vision. Because he saw that. I'm like, how the hell did you see that? Like, even the camera shot had to zoom in on it. I was like, what the fuck is what?
Look.
How?
Okay, so I don't know how true this is for a lot of people.
I found a stash in the forest one.
Thank you. All right, so it's not just me. That is such a true statement
It's very
for a
weird.
lot of guys. It's like the first time you see like a Playboy or some sort of like porn magazine, why are they always in the woods?
I don't know. I used to work at a bowling
true.
alley, and I found it was like a trash bag full of them.
Treasure.
Behind a bowling alley in
I
like
feel like
a
that was-
wooded area.
I feel like that was a mother like, we're getting rid of all this shit. Just
I'm like,
throw it out.
jackpot?
Yeah, exactly. Just sling this giant bag and just head home.
It's very odd.
But it is true. Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many guys I've heard like, oh yeah, I found it in the woods. I'm like, is there a porn fairy just dropping porn in like random woods in neighborhoods? But it is absolutely true.
It's very strange. I don't understand it.
I like to believe that bums are stealing them out of 7-Elevens and Royal Farms stores and just going into the woods and jacking it
And then just leaving it.
and just leave it.
For young-
I'm done.
For young, impressionable boys of like
I'm gonna put
13.
it on my bookcase.
right.
coffee table.
Right.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? It is just bizarre that is a shared experience between guys, all races
Like
and
the fact
creeds.
that I
It's
knew
true.
what you were talking about before you said it.
Right. Oh yeah, porn in the woods. That's totally normal. Okay, well, good. All right.
So
Even in Germany,
so
we
Morris
can all come together on some things.
No, we can't.
Morris takes this no doubt jizzed all over magazine. He takes it home and he is flipping through it. paper is still crinkling from all the dry jizz that's fucking getting ready to
There's
shatter
a moment
this paper.
where it's hidden, and it's just like, oh, that's
like,
right.
all right. And he's eating a sandwich. Now, Morris is a bit of a fat kid. And he's eating what is quite possibly the grossest thing I've ever seen in a human being. No. Sorry. I'm too good for
Shut up.
white bread with jelly, American cheese, and potato chips.
No, not
no,
potato, Doritos.
Were they
I
Doritos?
think those were potato chips.
I think
were
those
they?
were
Okay.
potato chips.
Was it peanut butter and jelly? I thought he had like a slice of ham on it.
Yeah, there was definitely some sort of meat on there.
Yeah, there was some
I don't
meat
Look,
on
it might have
so,
even been
right.
peanut butter and jelly with ham.
I think
at
it
that
was
point.
jelly, American cheese,
Ugh.
and potato chips.
So he pulled like
I don't believe
so it's
that
like
video.
Ali Sheedy from like the Breakfast Club. She put like chips or it was Captain Crunch between two pieces of bread. I'm like, that is not acceptable as a meat option. Like no.
He had some kind of meat on that thing.
Look,
One slice.
I'll take your word for it. Fucking jelly and chips.
How destitute would you have to be? Like I'm asking a man who only kept mustard and bottled water in his refrigerator when he was single. How desperate do you have to get to eat this sandwich?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I couldn't afford all those ingredients to put to make that sandwich.
That's true, you could not.
So
You were quite
I was just drinking mustard, That's how I.
That's how you stay thin.
That's how I stay thin. Just
Like, oh, do you
drinking
work
mustard.
out? Yeah, I'm on a mustard diet. I'm too poor. This is all I can afford. I can't even get bread.
So Morris also likes to rap, and I have a sample of Morris's lyrics here. Now, you said that Morris is pretty good at rapping. Now, I want you to defend.
Hold. I was talking about the later part in the movie, not earlier parts of the movie. But yes, I will defend it. I will still defend it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Is this from the later part of the movie?
So, well, he does say these lyrics later on in the movie.
Okay, well, good. That's great.
So, here we go. M to the motherfucking G in the house. All right.
Morris, and whatever his last name is.
Fucking all the bitches 2 at a time.
Right?
All you can take for just $10.99.
First of all, what the fuck does that even mean? I was like,
I didn't know what it meant, but you know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
okay.
Mom's on the pipe and pop's on death row. So who gives a shit if I fuck all these hoes?
Yeah, but
Would you care to elaborate?
I mean, I've never, quote, fuck 2 bitches 2 at a time, but, I don't understand where the pricing comes in that situation.
Oh, for just $10.99.
Like he's selling himself short.
Right. Are they buying him for $10.99? Is he buying them for
I don't
$10.99?
buy a hooker for $10.99. That feels like it. Sometimes pay the high price, right?
And then $11? Like, that's kind of
How
weird.
much is that in like German?
In
Francs or euros?
Frankfurters? Or whatever they're called.
Euros?
francs.
Look, I cannot honestly defend those lyrics.
Okay.
Those are a little over the top. However, I thought his rapping later on in the movie, in his sort of like big moment, I thought was actually pretty decent for a kid, especially his age.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, but those lyrics were atrocious,
Fucking all the bitches too.
which we'll get to because there's a great scene with somebody asking him about that.
Jesus Christ. So Inca, the tutor, told him earlier.
I thought she was a good character, by the way.
She was, and she told him earlier in the movie that he needs to go speak German with other people his age to practice his German and to get him to make friends. So she gives him information on a youth center. And she said, go to this and you'll make friends. So the next day at the youth center, we really get a visual representation of just how ostracized Morris is, right? Because there are all these kids around, 13 to 15 years old, and there's maybe like 30 of them sitting there while this guy is talking to them. And then
They're playing basketball.
Well, no, at the beginning, like when they're literally
in the center, yeah. Okay.
yeah, like there are about 30 of them, and then you just see Morris just kind of off.
Yeah, he's sitting back.
You know, sitting by himself. And like, this is like the visual representation of what it is like to not only be, you know, from a different place, but to actually, you know, to look different.
Right. I mean, there is a physical contrast.
Right.
And also, and I appreciated this about the film, they didn't make Morris a light-skinned kid. Because, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, it's one parent white or something like that. No, it is definitive that he is a dark-skinned, he's a dark-skinned kid, he's a heavy-set kid, which also puts him in contrast with everyone else in the film.
Yeah.
Except for his father, obviously. But everyone else is sort of a thin, German, European build and incredibly white, and he is this dark-skinned, heavy-set kid. It's like, visually, you cannot, he sticks out like a sore thumb, which I think is the point.
Especially because you can't, like, everyone else looks like they're from central casting, right?
Yeah,
like,
I would agree
everyone
with
else looks like they act.
Yeah.
Whereas Markees Christmas, he is very much just, he looks like a kid.
Yeah, he looks like a kid you could see walking down the street in Baltimore any given day.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought his acting sort of reflected that. And I don't know if he's like formally trained or, you know, he's kind of just starting out.
I'm probably gonna go on the not formally trained.
That's my thought too. But that helped. Where if it was a movie where he was supposed to be this, like a real serious role or something like that, I think it would have been a very different way to play it, and it would have his lack of acting ability would really stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But in this case, he's just supposed to be a kid, and he's just kind of like, everything is weird and strange to me, and I'm just trying to find my way in the world. So the way he talks and just being like real regular about it just absolutely makes his character stand out because everyone else seems so formal.
Yeah, what I can't stand in movies that have children in them is that they write those children, they write the child actors as if they are 50-year-old adults.
Yes, I agree.
And they write them and they ask them to perform in with a lot of gravitas that kids just don't have.
They don't have the life experience.
Very rarely can a kid pull it off, and when they do, it just feels, I don't know, it feels weird to me.
Well, it's like I couldn't tell you the century or whatever, but it's like the difference between back, let's say the early 1500s, like when they did paintings of kids, they just drew adults smaller. Like it was just bizarre, and it's like that person has like a 40-year-old guy face, and it's like a baby. So there was like that time, and then they realized like, yeah, babies don't actually look like grown adults, so let's draw them like they actually look.
They actually look.
And that's the same sort of thing. It's like, stop making kids act like these people with like 40 years of life experience. They don't have that, and they see the world in a very different and almost in a more black and white way than people who get older and like, oh, actually, there's a lot of nuance. It's like, this is good, this is bad. And that's how you think when you're 12, 13 years old.
The one time you don't need a bunch of nuance is when you're writing a child. And that's when everyone wants to fucking see how smart I am and look at this child act. Like, nah, man, like just let this kid be a kid.
Right, and that's the thing is, that's the luxury of being a kid is that life doesn't have a lot of nuance.
Yeah. So
nuance is a pain in the ass. Nuance is bills.
Yeah, nuance sucks.
Nobody has nuance.
Not anymore.
Even when you're a grown adult, you guys are on the internet, right?
What?
Yeah. Oh, on the internet, nuance does not
Nuance
exist.
doesn't exist.
Well,
No.
I think when people get sit in front of a screen, like they just get retarded. Like they just don't know.
Yeah. And it's good, bad. But that doesn't work when you're older. It works when you're a kid and everyone goes, yeah, well, you left your apartment.
Yeah, go to your room.
Yeah, exactly. You can banish your kid for listening to terrible music.
Right. So Morris eventually spots a girl that he thinks is pretty. And
Do you not agree with Morris?
I'm not attracted to children.
Okay, well that's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point.
So we get
that would have been a weird agreement. Like, I thought she was hot. Like, she's like 15. Calm down. Thank you, Woody Allen. Please continue.
So at the youth center, we get a bunch of shots of establishing shots of the youth center. We see everyone playing and everyone having a good time, people making friends, and all of a sudden it's a moving shot, and we pan over to Morris, who is sitting at a lunch table by himself. What I presume is writing stellar lyrics.
Yes.
And this red-haired dickhead comes over.
Yeah.
And he, the redhead dickhead is playing basketball, and they lose the ball. So the guy comes over and he's like, hold on, one sec. German, can we all agree German is the worst sounding language?
It's a very angry sounding language.
Yeah.
Even if you're saying something like completely like innocuous.
Like the joke is that, the Japanese language sounds angry. I was like, but it's just like, hey, how you doing?
Was that?
No, he's just being an asshole.
I'm just being an asshole. But I think German trumps that.
Well, it's funny because
German is hard on the ears, man.
It's a very hard language, but it's funny because what is it?
It hits the ear wrong.
Yeah,
man. It just does.
What's the? I think it's Tool, the band Tool. They did a whole clip in one of their songs, and it's just a guy like yelling something in German, and it sounds like super like, okay, this is like really military sounding and all that stuff, but it's just a recipe for chocolate cake, like just to prove that it just sounds angry because it comes from that language. It's like, it's not really that serious, but it does.
Hide your Jewish friends when you hear some German, man.
Right. No, not a fan.
That chocolate cake.
Too much.
Might have some. Never mind.
Don't do that.
I'm not going to do it. The redhead kid comes up and asks him if he wants to play basketball. Morris is like, nah, I'm good. And
well, he doesn't just ask him, does he want to play basketball? He says it in a very... So, okay, keep in mind, this kid is 15 years old, and he's kind of a bully personality, right? So he can't just go, hey, do you want to play basketball? He's like, hey, Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Yeah, you want to play basketball? And it's like, yeah, I get it, I'm black, thanks. Like, you're really nailing it with the racial humor. Like,
he
try a little harder.
He instantly becomes a dick, right?
Yeah, because that's a classic bully thing, right? It's like, what physical thing can I point out that's different than you? Like, he probably came over like in a relatively reasonable mindset, but then his dickish 15-year-old ways took over. Is like, I'm gonna call him Kobe Bryant because he's black. Like, yeah, well, and now we're here.
Did somebody call you Kobe Bryant?
Yes. Yes. She thought, that woman in Singapore thought that she thought that was like a nice thing to say, and I'm like, I'm a foot shorter than Kobe Bryant. Like, literally a foot shorter. Like, no, I don't look like him at all.
I thought that was nice to just be like, hey, Kobe Bryant, how you doing?
Yeah, like, oh, you look like Kobe Bryant. I'm like, Mamba? Like,
could you imagine?
Is that the name? By the way, that's going to be my name from now on.
Mamba?
Yeah, exactly.
The Black Mamba.
The Black Mamba.
That's his nickname.
I know, but
no.
Sports ball.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to call me that.
Yeah, no.
No.
they call you Black Mamba. No, she said you looked like Kobe Bryant?
Yes. And look, in Singapore, I probably seem like I'm 6'9" because everyone there is like 4'9". So I was like, wow, this guy's really tall. Like, no, I'm not.
Could you imagine doing that to somebody? Just coming up to an Asian person and be like, hey, Jackie Chan, how you doing?
Like, yeah, fuck off.
Anybody ever tell you look like Jackie Chan?
Like no.
I'm Taiwanese.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not the same race.
And then they kick you in the chest.
Yes. Because all Asian people know Kung Fu. Everyone knows that.
So Morris sees...
Don't be a racist and then say something racist.
Morris sees the pretty girl standing next to her friends, and that redhead dick is like, oh, you see them girls over there? They only like guys that play basketball. Morris is just like,
dude, I'm not an idiot.
fuck you, yo. And Morris, and the
Morris
guy's
is like, I'm
right.
from New York. I'm not a fool. I know a con when I see one.
So the girls leave the playground, and Morris follows them. Morris is a bit of a creep.
Yeah, this scene, I was like, don't do that.
He's a bit of a creep throughout this movie in a couple of different places.
Yeah, I mean, he's
look,
a 13-year-old boy.
He's 13, and
Like,
he's
he just
led
found some
by,
porn in the woods.
Right.
He's all riled up.
And he eventually meets his pretty crush and finds out that her name is Katrin.
Yeah.
So
And she's also a smoker at 15. I'm like, this girl is fast. Okay?
I mean, look.
She is the definition of a fast girl. It's 15,
Like all
going to
the
parties, doing ecstasy. Like, calm your ass down.
like everyone in Germany in this movie plays to that Eurotrash stereotype, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's 0 to 60.
Right.
I'm like, is there just a German person who's just like, Guten Tag? Like, that's it.
I felt like they were playing like 25-year-olds.
They
Like,
were,
are they 10 years older than what they are?
I
Because it was
don't
very
know.
bizarre to me. Like the party they went to under the bridge, I'm like, how old are these kids?
I'm like,
Right.
I'm not even sure I'm old enough to be at this party. God
Like
damn.
30 plus? Like they're smoking and drinking. I'm like,
Well, drinking is probably legal at 18, maybe. Germany is probably 14,
I wouldn't know.
12, I don't know. But, I mean, they love beer. But it was kind of weird because those kids they seemed
right, they looked like
way
they were,
older,
like,
dude.
They seemed like they were in their 20s. Like
Yeah.
they're college students.
Well, and it was funny because there's that moment where where Morris is talking to his tutor, and he's like, "Oh," she's like, "How old do you think I am?" He's like, "I don't know, 40."
Right.
And she's like, "Yeah,
really?
no," but she's clearly like 21 or 22. She's clearly very young because she's at one of the parties. Like she wouldn't, she's still young. She's in
She's
college.
getting ready to graduate college.
So she's like 21, 22.
Yeah.
Right. So
Like at 13, did you think like a 20-year-old was 40? Like I didn't think that was just fucking stupid.
I think, well, part of that, I think.
kids don't know.
Part of
anything.
that, I
They just
think,
don't
is that Morris was being a bit of a dick, right? Like, he's a funny guy. He's being a bit, how do you think I am? I don't know, 80? I think he was just being a little
Yeah,
bit.
because she's like 40. I'm not 40. He was like 37. like cut it down a little bit further than that. But yeah.
So he meets Katrin.
Yes.
And this is the beginning of the end for him.
And actually, I didn't think about this until the end. But this is his first heartbreak, which is everybody goes through.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It puts the entire movie into perspective of I hate how shitty she treats this character, but everybody's gone through it.
Yeah. Anyway.
They could have just played that song. What is it?
Go back into your mental Rolodex.
I did.
For a second, like
I did. I thought about that.
we've all had a catch.
Thought about that sword that I left in that wall.
Yeah. Exactly.
That happened like 2 weeks ago.
Anyway. So satisfied that, he met his crush, he goes off to see this castle or whatever. Scene really didn't have any purpose being there, but I guess it's just to show that Morris really likes music.
Yes.
And so he goes in and he's bobbing his head, and all of a sudden he's like daydreaming that everyone else is bobbing their head to the music that he's listening to the point where like the statues and I just thought it was kind of a cool shot. And a cool little character moment, that we realize that Marcus is like super duper into music.
Right.
So eventually he goes back home to bond with his father. Curtis gives Morris a cassette of him freestyling. He's like, how am I supposed to listen to this? I'm like, oh.
Gotta find a boombox.
Like, what is a boom box? But it's just really funny that in 2016, a tape, it's like, where am I supposed to play that? Like, it's super, like, it's not an 8-track. Jesus Christ. But in today's standards, like, how does it go into my iPod? Like, I don't
Do any of you have anything to play a cassette tape on?
Hell no.
No. I barely have something to play a DVD on at this point.
You're right. Shit. I got my my system.
Yeah.
I still have a cassette tape player.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, your dad was a DJ, so
Right.
you still
I
have
still have
a
all his old shit. So
Yeah. My parents,
hooking it up to some speakers.
that's a different story.
That's a little different.
You have to go and Google that. Where do you find cables from 1975?
I got all that shit.
But that is really funny. I really don't have anything to play a tape on. Wow, that's pathetic. But anyway, go ahead.
Is it?
Records.
Stop living in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I honestly, I would have to play like a CD, I'd have to play in my Xbox. Like if someone was like,
Yeah, I mean that's how I have to play my CD, but I do have a cassette deck. I also have a record player.
oh,
My parents have a record player.
No. Unless I was listening to some Sesame Street or shit. Like,
So
no.
what?
Like, that's the only thing that's coming on records.
Did you say Sesame Street?
Right, like for
what he
kid,
just said.
kid things. That would be the closest to
That
anything.
doesn't make a damn bit of sense.
Sure it does.
No,
I
it doesn't.
have nieces and nephews, unless they had some Sesame Street records like I did when I was growing up. That's the only records. Yes. You didn't have Sesame Street records?
No.
Back in the day, you didn't?
No.
Your parents didn't love you. Anyway, let's continue.
What are you talking about?
I'm serious. How did you not have those?
Sesame Street? Okay.
Yes.
Continue.
That's how I learned to read.
We took our Sesame Street media in the form of a television. Like, that's what we...
of course. Yeah. You guys are jerks. Whatever. Shout out to all the people who also know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'd like to get some reviews for some Sesame Street records.
You know what? Maybe we will.
Okay.
Maybe we'll start a podcast on old Sesame
Can you
records.
imagine watching the Get Down and having Grandmaster Flash mix in some fucking Sesame Street?
You don't think it could happen? I haven't finished that series. I don't know what could happen.
All right, the next scene is just to establish life from Curtis's point of view. He is the coach of a soccer team in Germany, and we see a quick scene of him out with his coworkers, and it's just kind of awkward and
Which parallels Morris's experience.
Exactly. Like the scene is there to show that the dad is having just as much of a time adjusting to these surroundings as his son.
Now, going back to the soccer thing, I thought was pretty interesting. It's very atypical for
Black dude to be playing soccer.
right,
Black people
like
to
a black dude
play
to play
and-
soccer in Europe. That was his career, and it's clear later on that the mother, Curtis's wife, who passed away at this point in the film, that she was studying abroad there too.
Yeah.
Like they do a good job of making them very typically black in, like being hip hop heads and from New York and like the way they dress and stuff, but giving them very atypical things like playing soccer abroad and things like that, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like it's nice to see, and I don't know if the director of this movie is black or not. He's not. But it's nice to see black characters shown with not just being in a foreign land, but like not playing basketball in a foreign land. You know what I mean? Like something that would be very atypical of something that we're seen as doing, but giving them something different to play with and showing that black people are dynamic, like I don't know everyone else on the planet. So it was kind of nice to see
I
that.
find that very strange. Like he played soccer back in the day. I'm like,
I mean, but they're
why?
Well, soccer's boring, but
It is very much so.
But it's boring to watch.
yeah, I can't
not
imagine doing it because I'm lazy.
It's tiring to play.
Yeah.
And boring to watch.
Let's run up
Fuck
and down.
soccer, man.
It's
Screw everything about it. I like the fact that, to piggyback off what you just said, I like the fact that it shows that these, stereotypical black people, right?
Yeah.
Like they are very black, but they have seen the world.
Yes.
Like they have gone places that don't necessarily have a beach. And like
That are not just off the coast of America.
right, exactly. Like they've been places, and I was one of those people that never went anywhere. Not by choice. I just didn't have the resources.
Yeah.
And then once you do, like you realize how big the world is, man.
Yes.
You realize how big the world is, but then you get part of me gets kind of depressed because no matter how big the world is, like you still a nigga to a lot of people, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard truth, right? So I remember I was in Cyprus, which is near Greece, and I'm like, it's nice, warm. People are, like I knew a woman who lived there who you wouldn't necessarily assume is white. You know what I mean? Because like it's hot and it's bright,
Right,
so
everybody
she's
got a
darker.
tan.
Right, she's darker, right? And like culturally speaking, like just it feels more, her culture feels more less traditional European as we think about it.
Yeah.
And so, I'm in Cyprus. I'm like, all right, this is cool. But Cyprus and Greece are places that a lot of sort of Eastern Bloc, you're like Poland and things like that, where they vacation, because it's warm and it's not too far away. And so it was this moment where you meet people from Cyprus and they were generally cool. But then these people who were not from Cyprus were there vacationing. And I'm like, you guys are staring at me really hard and like kind of moving your kids away and stuff like that. And it was kind of, it got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna do that. Like this is like legit. That is your viewpoint. And it's like, wow, in 2016, it's still kind of crazy. But I also have to think like, they probably have never seen a black person before, except for television, right? And so I just did what they did, which is I just stared at them like I'd never seen a white person before. I was like, whoa, like, you know, and it just made them uncomfortable to the point where they were like, oh, okay, maybe I'm being a dick. And it was like, yeah, okay, you're being a dick. Or I would like wave to the kids and they'd just be like, whoa, like, oh, wow. Like it's like seeing a blue person in real life. So like, it's a nice way to flip that. But it is true. You are seen as an other, or, you know, like you said, you're seen as just a nigga, you know, wherever you go. So it's, you know, sometimes you get treated a little differently. Sometimes you don't. Some people are over accommodating, which I'm like, could you just treat me like a regular? Calm down. Like, oh my God, you're here. Like, yeah, I'm a regular guy. Can I just have Wi-Fi?
Like,
in my
unless you
hotel?
comp in this meal.
Right, like,
you know, get out of my face.
Like you could just, everybody can calm down. So it is true. And to the movie's credit, they didn't take the easy road of just making it about race, which I appreciated. Because it could have been...
They touch on it.
They touch on it because look, you can't avoid it. Right. He's a young black kid in Germany, but they didn't. It wasn't like black. Oh my God, you're different because you're black. They didn't do that.
Right.
So they were much more subtle than I thought they would be, considering that it's a non-black director about this topic.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that a lot.
So Morris wanders into a meeting with the kids from the youth center. You know, Katrin and redhead dickhead and a couple other people.
Or as he just referred to them as German dickheads in general.
And the dickhead is being a dickhead, and Katrin comes and, you know, she's like, hey, we're going to a party later. You want to come? He's like, all right, I'll come. So we find out, we cut to the instructor, you know, getting his lessons. And we find out that she has a boyfriend in New York, right?
Yeah, which is interesting. That's another parallel to Morris's situation.
Right.
Yeah, another fish out of water.
So Morris goes to the party, and he eventually he's taken to Katrin, and it's surreal, right? Because Morris is like, the way the scene is shot, like, it's very interesting. Like, Morris comes in, and there's all this garbage music playing, and it's all colorful.
It's all like techno EDM kind of stuff.
It's all just crap.
I hate EDM.
Yeah, it's garbage.
I don't mind some EDM, but like that, well, that's not even, I didn't even know, that's not even technically EDM. It's just straight techno, which is, it's too fast, and like, I feel like I should be on drugs if I'm listening to it. And even if I'm not, I feel like I am on drugs when I'm listening to it. So it's like, it's too much for me.
Like, it's music you can't dance to, even if you can't dance. Like, it's just like...
I mean, you can dance to it.
What is that?
Because you're high.
Drugs.
Because you're on drugs.
That's how people dance when they're on drugs.
Jesus Christ. So he's coming in, and it's kind of shot like a music video, right? And
so this is, I mean,
like a mid-90s.
Yeah.
So what you're saying
waiting
is,
for Prodigy to come up.
So what you're saying, I like Prodigy, but so what you're saying is this. A lot of black people should like this because they loved the opening sequence of Belly, because that's the part everyone talks about is so artistically done. So they should love this movie as well, even though there's nothing else in that movie.
It's not artistically done. It's a music video. And I'll pour one at that.
The one
What are we
in...
talking about?
Are you talking about Belly, or are you talking
Yes.
about... Oh, okay. Oh, I agree with you.
Fight me.
Don't worry. They'll send me a message again.
I'll call you
Fucking
like
right.
Square.
Gay, yo. Fuck you.
For not liking Belly.
So he comes in, and everything looks kind of surreal, and he meets Katrin, and she's wearing sunglasses indoors.
I was in a restaurant, by the
night.
way, and somebody did that. I was like, I just wanted to go over and just like knock them off. What are you doing?
And she's standing in the middle of this room, and she comes in, and she blows smoke in his face, and it's shot like, you know, like...
Very sexual.
Yeah, very sexual. Now all of a sudden, she pulls out a water gun and shoots him in the dick.
Ha! Isn't that funny?
That's
You
funny.
look like you peed yourself. That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
No.
No, it really isn't.
I would have been pissed.
Curtis, Morris eventually, she hands him the gun, and then Morris, she runs away, and then Morris immediately like tries to wipe the water off of his dick.
Yeah, I was like, what do you? At first, I was like, is it water? Because like, what are you doing? You're just making it.
You're making it worse.
You're making it worse. You're spreading out your pea-soaked pants.
Right. And he immediately leaves, and Katrin sees this, and she has like a look of concern.
Yeah, she feels a little bit bad. Now, again, she's 15, and 15-year-old kids are dumb. Okay, they're stupid. And so she basically was like, oh, it's like a water fight. Don't you have those in America? Like, I spray you, and then you spray me. And he was like, yeah, we have that. But what the fuck? He was like, why did you shoot me in the dick?
So Morris
It didn't
comes.
dry by the time he got to the house. Like he leaves and he goes home. I'm like, it seemed like it was maybe like a 15, 20-minute walk. Like at that point, that should have been dry, right?
I think they left it wet solely for the next scene. That's
I
the only.
guess.
And we have a clip of that next scene.
Mo, you know what time it is?
No.
You have your phone?
Yeah.
So you have a clock. It's 12:30 a.m. Where you been?
Nowhere.
Morris, where have you been?
I went to a party. You told me to make new friends.
Yeah, make some friends. But let me know. Leave me a note.
I'm sorry.
Pop, going to a party. Boom, easy. 5 seconds. That way I don't have to wait up all night thinking about what kind of shit could be happening to you out there. This ain't Richmond no more. You get that, right?
Yeah, I get it. Every fucking day.
Hey. All right, chill with that. I'll chill too.
Is that all?
You pee your pants?
So this is the first like instance of this father-son bonding that I think is really good. Although you ain't cussing at me, boy. You better get the fuck out of my face.
Would you let your kid cuss in front of you?
No, I wouldn't cuss in front of my kids. So I wouldn't have them cuss in front of me.
Okay, that's fair. I cuss in front of my mom now. Kind of like I feel like a big man now. I'm like, I'm married. You can't do nothing to me. You can't beat me with a belt anymore.
You do hard
right?
cuss words? Hard cuss words? Fuck, motherfucker.
No, shit's the limit.
Yeah, shit and damn, that's it.
That's right.
Shit and
that's
damn.
right. Look, she's still my mom, dude. I can't. I'm not trying to get in trouble over that.
Now this scene, like, doesn't his father have a phone? Why didn't his father call him?
I think it was probably. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna allow you to fuck up so that I can give you a hard time when you get home.
Oh.
Of course, he could have called him.
Yeah.
But I liked. Would you let your kid cuss in front of you?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't play that shit.
I'm surprised.
Like me, no, you gotta, like, because I couldn't cuss in front of my parents until I was.
So you refused to allow them. I love how it's not a principle thing like, I couldn't do it, you couldn't do it.
Right, no, you can't. No, like I literally didn't start cursing in front of my mother until I was like 30 years old.
See? That's what I'm saying.
It's just a thing.
Yeah. It's funny because my brother-in-law, he lets his kids cuss in front of him. But
Nope.
yeah, but it's funny because he's a logic and language professor. And he says there's no bad words, only bad timing. And because you can tell his kids are like, yeah, I can say whatever I want. But they can't just be like, fuck you, dad. Like, that's not acceptable. Like, yeah, no, that is not acceptable. But like, if they tripped and fell or something, like, oh, fuck. Like, they could say that. Like, that's not a big deal. Yeah, it would not, no.
Really?
But I'm on the Terrence principle. I couldn't do it, you can't do it.
Right.
Is that fair? Life isn't
not
fair.
fucking fair.
Right. I brought you into this world, I'll take you out.
It's more than fair. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, you ain't cussing in front of me.
What about when they're 30?
No. No. Yeah, no.
Jesus.
No. Sorry.
They're just words.
Yeah, okay.
Mike is basically...
Remember that next time a white person calls you a nigga. It's just a word.
You might get punched in the face.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Like, it's still just a word that might elicit a very violent response, but it's a word nonetheless.
Look, there's freedom of speech, and then there is reaction. Those are two very different things.
Like, you can say whatever you want.
It's not freedom of consequences, right?
Yeah.
Don't cuss in my house. You can, if we had like a ball game or something. Yeah.
So it's your house specifically? That
Don't
seems.
cuss in my
What if
house.
you're in a really? Like at a football game? You'd be fine?
Yeah,
But as soon as you walk through the threshold in your house, like, no.
it's my sanctuary, man.
Oh, get out of my
I got
face.
rules.
Fuck up.
I got rules. You
have
want to enter
rules?
my sanctuary?
I cannot wait. I can't
fucking
wait
sweat.
for like 10 years from now to hear all, and you know, all of this is on tape. And I'm like, well, actually, on episode 90, you said that you would not allow this.
Clearly said that your children were never allowed to curse in your house.
In the threshold, once
Even
they
if
break.
they're 45 years old.
Yeah. Like, look,
Look, if you're 45 years old, what the fuck you doing hanging out with me?
that's
Like
fair.
visiting.
Nah.
Even then,
Your ass.
like, don't say, damn, you broke the threshold of my old man house. Like, get out of here.
Don't use the Lord's name in vain in my house.
That's not a phrase that will ever come out of your mouth. That's fine. I'll teach him. Like, look, like, your Uncle Jay doesn't believe in any of that shit. Say whatever you want. Fuck your parents. They ain't shit anyway.
Like, you a down ass nigga, Uncle Jay.
That's all and that's what I'm there for. Feed them ice cream and sugar and fucking tempt them into atheism. Anyway, go ahead.
The next day, Katrin finds Morris and she wonders why he's mad. And she's like, what, you don't have water gun fight? And like, yeah, bitch, we got water gun fights. That's not how they work.
You don't shoot people in the dick
You don't
and
shoot
walk
people
off.
in the dick and then just run away.
Surprise! It's a game.
She was like, I gave you the gun, so you shouldn't be mad. And Morris is like, look, I get it. Like, y'all are just a bunch of German dickheads, and y'all just like fucking with me.
Yeah, I mean, he actually is very good at identifying a situation straight up.
He's like, look, fine, I get it, whatever.
Right, but and the funny thing is, he wasn't even pressed. He was just like, yeah, I get it now. All right.
Like, I've been through this before.
Like, I'll just put you in this box. I understand. Which I appreciate. It was like
you can't shoot someone in the dick with a water gun, and you're the only one in the fucking
Right,
party.
it's
with
not a point.
It's like, I didn't see anyone else with a water gun, so when did this become a thing?
right. It's like,
You
oh,
blew
it's a
smoke in my face, first of all, which is unacceptable. And then you shot me with a water pistol.
love will make you do some fucked up shit.
Line. It's very strange.
Katrin wants to be friends with Morris, and Morris is like, all right, look, we're cool if you got something that can play this fucking ancient relic called cassettes. So they go back to his house, to her place, and she pops in the cassette, and it is Curtis rapping Juicy very, very poorly.
This is me doing 2 Chainz level bad rapping. Like, it is awful. Like, they really play up how terrible it is. And it's a hilarious scene.
Funny as hell.
It's a funny scene. Because Morris is like, the fuck? Like, she's like, this is rap? And he's like, no, this
is not rap. This is my father rapping Juicy. Like, why the fuck is he even doing this? Like, this ain't even original. Like, what's going
He
on?
was mad about it not even being original. which I
Dude
thought
was like, cause it's a hot song. Duh.
like, of course. I mean, in fairness, it is. But so getting back, before we move on from there, getting back to Katrin's sort of like, oh, I want to be friends with Morris situation. So when I was watching it initially, I was like, oh, okay, like maybe she's like kind of slightly into him, maybe. And what I realized throughout the movie is, one, she's definitely not interested in him, but she's interested from a like relationship sort of attraction, you know, or sexual attraction kind of thing. She's not, but she is interested in him because of what he represents.
He's different.
He's different, right? And she is this 15-year-old girl, and I cannot stress that enough, that she is 15 years old, considering the things that happen later in this movie. I'm like, again, she is the definition of fast girl. That could have been her name, by the way, in the credits, just fast girl. But she is enamored by the fact that here he is, this different person. She is in a very homogeneous sort of environment, this small town in Germany, Heidelberg, Germany, and he represents like, oh, he's from a different land, he's different looking and everything else, which sort of spurs her into things that happen later to her character, which I thought was kind of interesting.
To piggyback off of what you said, Katrin asks Morris if he can rap. She also asks him a couple of other things.
Yes. So we have that
very,
clip.
very.
Made the change from a common thief to up close a person over rob and leech, and I'm far from cheap. Smoke scuff with my peeps all day. Spread love is the
Can you rap?
Can I rap? Come on. Quit sleeping on me. I got sick flow. Freestyle shit. Know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
I'll show you sometime.
I don't really listen to rap,
Who do you listen to?
like techno and electro swing. I like to dance, you know? I hear black people are good dancers. Is this true?
Well, I don't really dance.
You don't dance and you don't play basketball? So none of the things are true?
Now my mom puts the act, put mix on the back. Yeah, come on, come on.
Do you have a big dick?
What?
Is your dick big?
I don't know.
Like this?
So yeah, I mean that is an interesting series of questions. The
mad
answer,
she
by the
was
way,
dating.
the answer is always yes.
I'm mad she was like, is it big? Like this? Like what the fuck?
No. Sorry to disappoint you.
Oh,
But
shit.
you got it. By the way, you got a little bit of the Craig Robinson rap in there in the background, which is just hilarious. So bad.
So crazy, man.
So, but this scene is, I wanted to clip it out because of not the, it's a funny scene, right?
Yeah, of course.
But it also plays into like the rest of the world does not know what black people are like. And, probably other cultures also, right? Like they're all playing off of stereotypes. And she genuinely was surprised when he said he can't dance and doesn't play basketball.
Right. Well, I told you, the very first time I got into a cab when I was in Cyprus, someone said, do you play basketball or football? It was the very first thing, and I was like, I play both. I don't play either.
We went to that party. Remember? Years ago, we went to that.
Yo, we went to this guy named,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter what his name is. We went to play cards or something over his mom's house. He lived with his parents. And his mom,
Oh, I do know this story.
God bless her, I
I don't
guess.
know if it was his mom that asked. I think it was like his grandparents or something.
Oh, boy.
Whatever.
Whoever it was.
Terrence and I come in, and Terrence and I are grown-ass men. We are over 6 feet tall, 6 feet being the average height of a normal man. And we are walking.
I don't feel like that was necessary, but
And
please continue your story.
we are walking through, and this old lady she's very nice. She's like, "Ooh, do you two play basketball?" And I'm like, "Yeah, lady, we're tall, but no, I'm an engineer."
Did you actually say no, I'm an engineer?
I said I'm an engineer. Did I say I'm an
No,
engineer?
you didn't.
I didn't.
You just said no.
I said
we both
no.
were like, no.
Right.
I swear I think one of them asked if we were brothers.
That makes sense. You guys look exactly alike.
Exactly.
I just, nah,
The
yo.
two black basketball brothers.
The two black people, yo. The two black people that were there, and I think was our mutual friend there.
I think so.
Right. So there was 3 black people at this thing. I'm surprised she didn't be like, oh, do you play WNBA? Because it was a girl. The
Far
other
too
person.
short for that.
But look, who knows that old lady? I was just like,
I mean, but isn't that really funny though? That people still like, oh, all black people play basketball. No. Me?
And to be fair, like it's not even
web?
just like that old white lady. Like I've gotten that from other people. You know,
Black people live by those same weird stereotypes, like
Yeah.
thoughts
People
about
ask, like,
you play ball?
You play ball? I'm like, no.
No.
I used to, but I don't play basketball.
I played it when it was required in
waste of
gym
height.
class.
Like, why the fuck is that?
Someone called me a waste of height.
Well, they
fucking asshole.
Well, now hold. In fairness to them, you are terrible at basketball.
Yeah, I'm
You are
terrible at
awful.
basketball. So the fuck what? God damn it.
I'm just saying. For a person who is above the normal height of an adult male, you stink at basketball. You're awful. Now, that is, of course, the pot calling the kettle black, because I am also bad, but I am short, so, like, I should be good at, I don't know, ping pong or something. So,
Ping pong?
Yeah, well, Chinese people are really good at ping pong, and they're short.
Your
So.
references are fucking terrible.
I'm just saying. Like, whoa, man. Look, you can get right to the table,
What's
man.
going on? Okay.
Look, are you telling me the Chinese don't dominate ping pong? Or is that what
What
you're
do
telling
Chinese
me?
people have to do it? What?
They're short. I am also short.
Okay.
That's right.
Sure.
It did make sense.
Yeah, you don't
In
know
my
kung
mind.
fu though.
I don't.
I can throw a kick. Not a very good one. No, actually, I can.
Right, please don't, because we're gonna have people saying, "I would like to see Terrence throw a kick." 5 stars.
5 stars.
It's not a music review.
It's just a request. All right, go ahead.
Morris leaves after the big dick question because.
Oh, and her mom comes in.
Yeah, Catherine's mom comes in and. It's fucked up. This little girl just dead, right? Because Morris hears the mom. He panics, right? He's got this panic look on his face, like, "Oh, I just fucked this white woman." and
Even though they literally haven't even held hands.
right, they haven't
Yeah, he's still
touched,
guilty.
right? And Catherine is like, "Oh," she leans back on the bed because she's exasperated that her
Right.
mom is there. And then her mom comes in, sees this fucking big black dude who apparently has a dick this big, and her daughter laid out on the bed, and he's just like,
I don't know.
I gotta get out of here. It's SpongeBob picture.
Yeah, exactly. But it was funny because Catherine tells her mom, she's like, "Oh, who's this?"
That's my boyfriend.
That's my boyfriend. I'm like, "Oh, like, don't do that."
That was fucked up.
That was fucked up.
That was the moment like, oh, she's a real fuck.
That was fucked up, but that.
She just threw it in her mom's face. There you go.
But I gotta believe that that's the moment that Morris kind of gets sprung, right?
I think him following her through.
I think
pretty
I
sprung.
think this is the definitive boomerang.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
that's fair.
Like, because he starts daydreaming about her, and at the youth center we find that
Building pillow versions of her.
oh, you better believe we're gonna get into that. So at the youth center we find out that there's a talent show coming up, and after the class is dismissed, the head of the youth center pulls Morris aside, and he's questioned.
This pisses me off.
Yeah, man, and this is we referenced this earlier. He comes and pulls Morris off to the side, pulls out a joint, a roach. Is that what they call it? is that what it's called in the
Let's continue.
in the marijuana circles? A roach.
Someone has
An
never
ant.
smoked weed, but go ahead. Roach.
And he pulls it out and is like, is this yours? Where'd you get it? Some kid said he found it. Did you give it to him? And Morris is like, why don't you just ask the other kids, man? Like, it's not mine. And it's
Well, he doesn't say it's not his. He just says ask the other kids. Because I yelled at the screen. I was like, just say it's not yours. Just say it's not yours, for the love of God.
Should he have to, though?
No, of course he shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Anybody black.
Right, I'm like,
Smoke weed.
and it's funny because it's like, oh, really? You found a joint in the woods? You might want to check with the other kids. They're doing ecstasy at parties at 15. They were doing it way before I got here.
Right.
Yeah, you better get out of here. Gotta check with Fast Girl over there. Bunch of abusers.
So, yeah, Morris calls him an asshole, and he leaves. And
It's like, what did you say? Nothing.
9. Bitch. And Catherine sits with Morris, outside at Morris's usual lyric writing table. And that redheaded prick shows up, and he asks Morris if he has a talent. And Morris ignores him, but Katrin is like, he's a rapper. And fucking Nazi Opie says, oh, of course. Like, oh God, fuck you, yo. Like, he really, like, that kid really
No, that
pissed me
character
off, man.
was a prick, dude. He's a prick. He's a prick. Is this the scene where, like, after he's a prick to him, they mess with him?
No, this
That's
is later.
later, yeah.
Morris doesn't want to do the talent show. He says he don't have anything to prove to these people.
Did you guys ever have a talent show when you were, like, growing up, like, in school, that you participated in?
Did we have talent shows?
We had them. I know.
We had one. I think I just drew some stuff.
I did.
What did you do?
What was my talent?
Talking.
I mean, yeah. I can't believe I did this, and I cannot believe I'm going to tell this story because it's ridiculous. But it's all for the show. I did a Michael Jackson impersonation. I shit you not. I shit you not. I believe I did. I believe it was Beat It. They didn't appreciate me grabbing my crotch nearly as much.
So
as,
it was dancing.
Yeah.
It was dancing, not singing.
No.
Not singing, just dancing.
No.
Did you come in with white glove?
I did not have
white
any
glove with glitter.
I did not have any sort of props. I don't believe.
I did that at one point. Came to school with it was for something like this.
Okay, not just a Tuesday.
It was like Halloween or something.
Okay,
like,
Halloween is
everybody
acceptable.
come in, and I had a white glove and with glitter on it, and aviators and the black jacket.
Yeah.
But
This
no,
wasn't
I'm
even for
not.
Halloween, was it? It was probably like a Tuesday.
I mean,
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, no.
December 4th.
You were going around fucking grabbing your dick
Yeah, and doing the
In
fucking
middle
like hand
school?
move. Yeah, I thought I was so cool. It wasn't middle school.
at Falstaff.
No, this was elementary school.
Elementary school.
This was elementary school.
Oh, that's even more disturbing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, here's the thing. I did not make it past round one. Shocking news. Did not. I don't know what possessed me, because I certainly didn't have any level of confidence back then. Now I'm just an arrogant person, but I certainly didn't have any confidence back then. What in my bizarre mind thought that was a good idea, I have no idea. But I thought I was nailing it. I thought, yeah.
Look, everybody thinks they nailing it when they up there dancing, and then you look at a video of yourself,
Oh,
and it's
no.
just like, ooh.
Is there video of this somewhere?
No, there is not.
I think
And
I
if there
probably-
was, I would have found it and burned it. Are you kidding me?
You're like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Like if there was a video of me doing some stupid shit at 9, I wouldn't give a fuck. I was.
Oh,
9.
no. I care.
Why?
No. You think I'm letting that out? In the age of the internet is forever.
It is forever, but I was 9.
Yeah.
No,
it's like
you know what
pictures.
people are doing. You know what people are gonna do. They're gonna post pictures of your head on your childlike body,
Yes, exactly.
fucking grabbing your crotch and gyrating.
Look, and I'll just say this to save Johnny the time for looking for it. You can just find the video, the commercial of Carlton doing that Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial, and just Photoshop my head on top of that. Because there you go.
I think Carlton did it better though.
Oh, he did, because he could actually dance, and I, of course, cannot.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Like when people are embarrassed by baby pictures and shit.
No, I'm not embarrassed by baby pictures, but video, we don't need to see that. Nope, not ever.
All
You're a
right.
child.
I was terrible.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Katrin, so Morris is like, I ain't got nothing to prove to these German dickheads. And Katrin is like, oh, that's a shame. I really wanted to see you rap. So she takes a selfie from a Kodak disposable camera.
This is why she has a tape deck. She doesn't live in the future.
When does this take place?
This movie incidentally takes place in 1983.
And she leaves him to meet with a young man on a motorcycle. And
Yes.
I'm sitting there with my
A
wife,
young
and I'm
man?
like, well,
He's in college, and she's 15. What are the German laws over there? That is unacceptable.
What is the age of consent?
and I'm looking at this with my wife, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's just her brother, right? Because I'm rooting for Morris, right? Like he wants to live the dream of being a black man and be able to have sex with a white woman, and that's like, and I'm rooting for him, right? In Europe, like the white people capital of the planet, right? And he's like, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's his brother, maybe that's her brother. And then they kiss each other on the lips. I'm like, oh.
Maybe that's a German custom. No, it's not.
So Morris signs up for the talent show. Because all of a sudden he found something to prove to someone.
Yeah, he was thinking with his dick and not his head.
Right. And at the tutoring session, Morris tells Inca that he's in the show. Eventually he leaves, but Inca finds his book of lyrics, and she reads it because she's nosy. And she goes.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I'd have read it too, of course.
And she goes, "Oh yeah, I've read other people's diaries before."
Really?
Yeah.
You're a fucking terrible person.
Am I?
Yeah.
You find that information?
Like,
Am I? Yes. Okay.
Like,
I'll just make it sure.
I've seen someone's diary sitting there. I've never read it. Because it's someone's diary.
Yeah. I'm nosy. I need to know shit.
Did you find out anything relevant to you?
No.
Anything you could use against someone else?
That's what you were looking for, though.
Oh yeah, I was looking for stuff for me. Like, I don't care what you do. I don't care about your secrets. You can have a fucking dead body, and you just wrote that. But is my name in it? Like, that's all I really
And
care
I
about.
also think Micah ain't shit. You son of a bitch.
Right. And then if I find that, then
you dime a rut on
the
the dead body thing.
Absolutely.
Because I assume it was a woman.
You know me very well.
I do. Yes, I do. You're a horrible person.
Jesus Christ.
She reads it that
Don't
night.
leave your journal and or diary around Micah.
Don't.
Leave
Well, lock
anything
it.
around this nigga. Like,
Or lock it.
That's all you gotta do. Lock it. Funny enough, I don't do that with my wife.
Does your wife keep a diary?
She don't keep a diary, but like she has her phone. I don't go.
Oh, I don't go
text
through my wife's
messages
phone.
and stuff
No,
like
absolutely
that.
not.
I don't do
Does she
that.
go through yours?
No, she don't go through mine.
No.
Like if she'll see like the banner come up and say, "Hey, Jay texted you."
Yeah, my wife does that.
But nah, she doesn't. You know, she doesn't.
Does she know
go
your
through.
code?
Yeah, she knows the code.
Oh, okay.
Like my phone has a thumbprint. My wife has a thumbprint that she can log in, and I have it on hers.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Would
questions.
you do that or not?
Like, I wouldn't have anything to hide.
Right, that's my phone.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't know.
The craziest it gets is like, who am I following on Instagram? That's about it.
I don't even think my wife knows that I have an Instagram account.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. And it's like, oh, that girl's pretty. Some model or whatever. All right. That's it. That's as crazy as it gets.
Right.
So, whatever. Go log in.
There you
I'm trying
go.
to think. Would I?
I can't imagine caring enough to search through my wife's phone unless I thought there was like something serious. I'm like, aha. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't give a shit.
And if it's at that point,
yeah.
you might need to see somebody.
Right. Like, if it's at that point, hey, you were really stupid enough to keep my login on your phone so I could get into it. Like, be smarter.
So she delivers the book to Morris and Curtis's house later that night, and Inca talks to Curtis about what she read. Curtis, very politely, from my perspective, tells her to mind her own fucking business, and you worry about his German, and I'll worry about raising my son.
Yeah.
He did it in a very, very polite way.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't think I would have.
I'm not saying, go to him and be like, bitch, what the fuck you doing reading my son's diary? That's my job.
That's my job. Right? No, I thought he handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not any of her business. And he raises Morris in a very certain way, which is, and we'll see in the clip that's coming up, is he's not worried about him being explicit. Like, that's irrelevant. Like, they're both fans of hip hop. Like, explicit lyrics are just par for the course. It's not, oh my God, you said shit or bitch or whatever. Like, that's not a big deal.
Right.
So
Here's that clip.
What she want?
Fucking all the bitches 2 at a time. All you can take for just $10.99. How's that hook go? Do it for me.
Why?
'Cause I said so.
Fucking all the bitches 2 at a time. All you can take for just $10.99. Mom's on the pipe and Pop's on death row. So who gives a shit if I fuck all these hoes?
You ever fuck bitches 2 at a time? I'm asking. Have you ever fucked bitches 2 at a time?
No.
What?
No. Why are you mad? You curse all the time.
I ain't mad at you for writing them rhymes because they're explicit. I'm mad at you for writing those rhymes because they're bullshit. That's the best you got?
I was just playing around.
Let Snoop Dogg rap about fucking bitches 2 at a time, because he's done that shit. Okay? You need to rap about what's really going on with you. You feel me?
So I should rap about getting yelled at by you. Nobody wanna hear that shit.
Oh, you think you know what people want to hear? Just like you think you know what it's like to fuck 2 women at once? You don't know shit. And until you know shit, you need to rap about how you don't know shit, because that is garbage.
At least my shit is original.
What you mean?
I listened to your tape. That's the real bullshit.
You heard the tape?
Yeah. And it's just you rapping Biggie's rhymes.
What?
Why do I want to hear a tape of you rapping Juicy?
Because that's a hot fucking song. And I probably killed my own shit on side 2. Hey, we are not done. Why do I have to hear about you being in a talent show from some lady at my door?
This isn't even for the talent show. And it's not even finished yet.
Well, finish it by writing some rhymes from your brain and not your dick. You're 13 fucking years old.
I think this is the real start of really establishing their relationship and how Curtis sees Morris. He doesn't see, I mean, he sees him as a kid, obviously, but he doesn't treat him with kid gloves.
Yeah.
Which I like when parents do that, because, like, yeah, 13-year-old kids are dumb in a lot of ways and they don't really get the world and they haven't experienced a lot of things. But they're not morons. Like, they still are alive. And
he treats them with an incredible amount of respect.
He does. Yeah. He does. And I think that's why they are so close. And not to skip ahead, but I think that sort of final conversation that they have in the car close to the end of the movie is some of the most well-crafted parent-to-child talking, conversation that I've seen in a movie if not ever.
Real life.
Yeah, I mean, it feels real, and the way that it's crafted is so well done. Yeah. So, and we'll get there, but I really enjoy the dynamic between the two of those characters. Like, I could watch another movie of them, like, their lives continuing, just because of how strong that relationship is.
Absolutely. At the talent show, we see redhead dickhead being a dickhead with red hair. And then we see an array of
you can't trust those people, by the way.
Huh?
You can't trust those people.
Redheads?
Yes.
I agree.
Hey, Andy.
I don't know any redheads.
Andy.
Sure you do.
Do I?
Yeah, Andy.
Aside from him. Like, personally?
Oh, no, not personally.
No, we're just giving Andy a hard time.
Like, Andy could be a figment of my imagination as far as I know. He could be a fake account. I know. I've never seen the man.
Andy is a fake account. He's a listener, but he's a fake account.
So, look, it might be. It's the nicest redhead I've ever seen.
All right, that's fair. Anyway, continue.
We see an array. Jay and I know a redhead.
That's right.
She ain't shit. we see an array of shitty performances, and
by the way, the redhead kid, he is as this big bully. Right. He's a flautist.
He's a flautist.
Like, yeah, I'll kick your ass.
You know what's fucked up? He's the only one with any real talent.
He really was. He really was.
Play the shit out of that flute, man. Other people were playing hacky sack with a soccer ball, and
this guy could have been in, like, never mind. But it was very funny.
So Morris goes up on stage and he performs his fucking Golden Corral, all you can fuck for $10.99 rap.
The Golden Corral rap.
And it does not go over well. And
he gets about 3 words into it, and they're like trying to drag him off stage.
Fucking all the bitches! Oh shit! Then he gets tackled. And
he's super nervous.
He is. And the redhead kid stands up and just starts sarcastically applauding, right? And Morris threatens him. He's like, I think his name is like Sebastian or some shit. He was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Sebastian. And they were like, that's enough of that.
Yeah. Terrorist threats. You're gone.
So Morris is subsequently expelled.
Or kicked out of that youth camp or whatever.
The youth center or whatever. And he was like, if you ever come back, we're gonna call the cops. Say you're trespassing.
But he didn't know the German word for police. So he's like, what did you say to me?
Yeah.
And he wasn't allowed back.
So Katrin catches up with Morris. They sit down by a fountain. The fountain that is meant to be like a symbol for something. And we'll.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I have aphasia and I'm spacing out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm like, where are we?
So they're sitting down at this fountain and they're getting to know each other better. And Morris does the worst Jay-Z impression I've ever
Yeah,
done
I was
in my
like-
entire life.
It was all. It's me doing a Jay-Z impression. It's like pulling your baseball cap down, like, "Hey guys, I'm Jay-Z." Like, that was like your boy. Oh, your Jay-Z impression is far better than his.
And it's terrible. And I'm not going to do it.
Oh, I see. I don't think your Jay-Z impression is that bad.
Katrin exposes Morris to some of the shitty-ass music that she likes. And
She's like, you like? He was like, yeah. No.
And
Terrible.
they start sharing earbuds, and all of a sudden, it's like the water from the fountain rises and rises and rises into a bit of an explosion.
Yeah, a little bit of fountain ejaculation, if you will.
There you go. On the way home, they're riding the bus, and Morris asks Katrin about the guy on the motorcycle. She tells him that his name is Pear, and that they are going to a party later.
Yes.
And she leaves, but she forgets her sweater. And Morris takes it home. And we are treated to the most awkward sex scene I've ever seen, ever.
Sex scene?
So,
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on. It's like, man, I was like, what is? I thought he was gonna leave. I thought he was like making like a fucking Ferris Bueller type thing. So he could leave that house
so he could
he
sneak out.
get her fucking
no.
scarf back.
No, I knew exactly what was happening, and all I could think
Have
of.
you done this before?
No, I have not.
Because I didn't
Fuck
know
off.
what the fuck he was.
Fuck off. No, I haven't. But all I could
believe
think,
you.
all I could think of while that scene, shut up. All I could think of is while that scene was going on, I was like, please don't let his dad walk in, because like. It's a level of embarrassment watching a movie. You feel embarrassed for a character, and you know it's not real. You're just like, just hurry up and just be over with. Over.
Like it literally took me to the point where he created it completely too. I was like, oh, fucking
So-
come on. Yo.
So Morris takes
poor kid.
a pair of shorts that he has.
Sweatpants.
Well, before you get there, did you say she left her
Sweater on the
Yeah,
bus.
she left the sweater on the bus.
Yeah.
Morris takes it, he's gonna give it back to her eventually, when he takes it to the dry cleaners. and Morris goes home he has the sweater and he puts a pair of sweatpants on the bottom of a pillowcase. And I'm with Terrence at this point. I'm like, he's pretending that
You're gonna
he's
make a fucking mannequin.
right, because they just said, she's going to a party later, and we know that, he kind of sneaks out and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, all right, And then he puts the sweater on the pillow, and I'm like,
I still didn't know what the fuck
this
was
is a
going
very elaborate mannequin you got going here.
on. Right.
And then he starts playing this music, and I'm like, I don't think this is really necessary for this whole mannequin thing.
This is the worst escape from Alcatraz thing I've ever seen.
And then he starts dancing with this. He essentially made a body pillow, and he's starting to dance with this thing. And he's starting to grab the phantom ass of the pillow.
Right.
And he puts the pillow on the bed, and he starts humping the pillow and kissing the pillow. And it is, oh, damn. Oh, damn.
It was so funny because the second he got the sweatpants on, I was like, don't do it, bro. Don't do
How
it.
did you fucking know?
How did I know? Because he's a 13-year-old boy, yeah. Because he was a
I
horned
know he
up
was gonna do
kid.
that.
I knew immediately.
Sorry, I didn't.
Absolutely. I knew.
Like I legitimately didn't know until he started dancing with it. I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah, no. The second I was like, oh,
that's not right.
don't do that.
That was my fault. Like, I've never, no.
No. Again,
A fucking pillow.
yeah. A
13.
A pillow person. That's what he built. That was all. I was just, please don't let Craig Robinson walk in on the scene.
I felt the same way.
Like, please
after
don't.
I realized that he's about to fucking go down on this pillow. He's about to long dong this big. God, good Lord.
It was an embarrassing scene to watch for him.
For the actor.
Yeah, for the actor. That's what I mean. So, for the love of God, this is
What
what
to do? What now?
I don't want to do this.
Oh my
God.
God.
Scene in front of the camera.
Morris meets with Catherine. He pretends to take some ecstasy, and he texts his dad that he's going to the movies.
Smartest move he ever made.
Yeah, because
When he took that ecstasy, I was like,
come on, man. Like,
don't do
this
that.
is literally why we call them black man's kryptonite. Don't do it. Don't.
But he was smart. He was like, oh yeah, I took it.
Yeah, I took it.
Spit that out like, I'm not taking ecstasy, I'm 13.
I love this kid, man. I love this character. Like
He feels real.
He feels super real, and he feels like any other kid, going through life and experimenting with stuff. But he knows that it's not.
Like, dude, it's ecstasy. Like, nah,
Right,
bro.
because he did some research. He
Yeah,
was like,
that, by the way, was a super 2016 kid move, right? He was like,
Ecstasy, right.
He Googled how to take ecstasy, and he saw a picture of a woman who took it, and like 3 pictures over time, and he was like, nah, bro, not doing that. Like, nope. But that's a very modern kid moment. It was like,
and he's very smart, and he's not. He bows down to peer pressure, but like he's not stupid.
He's not stupid,
right? So I really like the dynamic of the kid and the father, man, and I really like this character.
I'd like to think that if I had a kid at 13 and someone was like, hey, you should try ecstasy, they'd be smart enough to go, how do you
What
try
is ecstasy?
Fuck that.
Nope.
Don't need it.
He texts his dad that he's going to the movies, and he heads to the party. Meanwhile at home, Curtis was looking forward to hanging with his son. He had bought him like a toy, as a peace offering, but he wasn't there. We see that he really, really misses his wife, and he misses like female companionship. So he decides to call a German sex line.
I forgot about
I didn't know
this.
these things existed anymore.
Yeah,
Does he
it's
not
kind
have
of.
internet? Does he not have a computer?
No, he does. That's how he Googled
That's
how to
his
do
son
drugs.
Googled how to take ecstasy.
Yeah, like, just go on the internet, dude. Like, yeah, how are phone sex lines still a thing?
Yeah, like we have the internet, and there's a ton of free porn.
You can watch anything you want.
And again, the German language is
But
just
she-
not sexy at all.
But
It
she
really
wasn't speaking German on the phone, right?
No,
Yeah, she was. No,
well,
'cause-
at first she was, yeah.
She said,
right.
she said, you American? And he was like, yeah, I'm American. She's like, you want me to speak English? She was like, no, speak German.
Yeah.
Nah, speak English.
The funny thing is, she's like, oh, what's your name? And he's like, Carlos. Like, yes, Carlos, the American.
She was like, are you hard yet? He was like,
No. He didn't even try to lead her on,
Like,
and I was
not
like,
really.
no.
I can't imagine being that hard up that like calling a phone would like get me going.
Ugh, no.
Calling a
pain?
sex line.
Yeah, also, it's expensive, isn't it?
right. Yeah, it was like,
60 cents a minute or something. I remember seeing the commercials. I've never called because I'm too cheap. Like, I'm too cheap. Like,
no, those things were like $1.99 a minute.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They were like Miss Cleo numbers.
Oh, okay.
Insane.
Like, oh, are you into that? Yeah. Hold on a second. Would you like to continue for the next minute? Fuck. Yes, I guess. All right. Yeah, your bill's like $97. Like, congratulations.
Right. You could have subscribed to
Brazzers or
Bang
something.
Bros or whatever for a month, and yeah, anyway.
Done your damage. Yeah, I guess they do still exist.
Like, did he just want to hear a voice? Like, you can hear.
I think maybe he just wanted to hear someone speaking to him. That's my only rationale.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that.
No.
Yeah, nah, sorry. Cut back to the party. Morris is ready to leave because he ain't having a good time.
Because he's not high as a kite. Like
Right, he's
everyone
not
else is.
high. He's listening to this fucking shit that sounds like a modem booting up. It's just terrible music, man. And Catherine convinces
That's an
him.
excellent way to describe techno music. A modem booting up. That's
Catherine convinces him to stay and have a dance, and
She's
he
high as
does.
shit, too.
She's high as a kite, but he gets into it and he starts dancing, and Inca is there. and she sees him.
Proving that she's only like 22 years old.
Right. The next day, Morris meets Inca for his lessons, and Inca imparts some advice. Just be you. You don't have to pretend to be anything you don't want to be.
Which, by the way, harkens back to the conversation between Morris and his father about him being pissed off about, not because the lyrics were explicit, but because the lyrics weren't genuine.
Yeah.
Which is, yes, make sure the lyrics are genuine, but it's be the real you, which I thought was an important distinction.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a good lesson for anybody, man.
It is.
Like, especially if you're young, man.
Right, and it is exactly what this movie is all about, right? I mean, yeah, it's a coming of age story. Yeah, it's about first loves. It's about, all of those things, being an outsider and everything else. But it's also about just being the real you, no matter what your situation is. And I actually really appreciated how honest the movie was about that.
Yeah. Curtis
Was
tells.
you guys ever taught that? I wasn't.
Oh, hell no.
What, to be the real you?
To be me?
Yes.
Hell no.
Well, you shouldn't be you anyway. Like, that's not acceptable in society. No, I was.
I mean, I was, but I wasn't taught that.
No, my mom pushed that. Absolutely.
I
Nah.
don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Fuck you.
We're here.
But yeah, I was never. No one ever taught me like, hey, just be yourself. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Nah. As much posing as I did growing up.
Like, I didn't pose for anybody, but
Oh, I did. I desperately wanted to be liked. I have self-esteem issues, man.
Do you really?
I think we all.
yeah.
I did too, but at the
I
same time,
I don't. I'm fine.
Not anymore.
Like I didn't have.
No,
I didn't
goddamn
have.
well.
No, I mean,
No,
we push it up. We push up the like arrogance, joking or whatever on the show. But yeah, of course. I mean, that's the great irony of things is there was somebody I know who listens to the show as a friend of is a neighbor of mine who listens to one of our shows, not this, but another one of our shows. And she said to my wife, she was like, "Oh, Mike and Terrence, those guys are really hilarious. Like, they're so outgoing, whatever." And my wife was like, "Mike and Terrence are like really shy people." She's like, "What?" And it's because on the shows, it's a different, you get into sort of show mode. But yeah, like the funny thing is, I'm not particularly all that shy, but like the two of you guys are much quieter than I am.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
fucking
agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
We know what to say, when to say it, so that when we do speak, it is more impactful. Whereas blowhards just start bloviating all over the place, and it's just like, all right, and you got to sift through the shit to find the real meaning.
Yeah, that's true. I understand. I get it.
Oh, I love you, buddy. Curtis tells.
This will be like his last episode. It's two-man show.
Curtis tells Morris that he knows he got expelled and that he's not too upset by it. He informs him that he needs to go out of town and Morris will be by himself for a little while. So Morris, thinking with his dick, the first thing he does next day, "Hey, yo, Katrin, I'm saying, you want to chill? You want to come to my place,
Look,
chill?"
I get it.
Right.
Like,
I've been practicing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got it.
Hello.
You gonna wear that sweater? Oh, did I not give it back to you yet? Sorry about that. Gross.
So she declines, and she says she's going to a party with Pear. And
Out of town,
because he's a DJ. She invites him, and at first he's like, "No," and then eventually he's like, "Yeah." So
Because it's any opportunity to see her.
right, any opportunity to be with her. So that group arrives, and Katrin springs a surprise on Morris. So they're at the venue, and Pear's DJing, and Katrin is like, "Bam! I just arranged it for you to go up on stage and start freestyling." And Morris is like, "Nope."
Yeah, because that would have been my response. Are you out of your mind?
And Morris, he does his little 8 Mile moment. He goes in the bathroom and, washes the spaghetti off of his shirt or whatever. And he goes
Spaghetti.
and he goes up, and at first he's got whiskey dick and can't really get it going.
Right.
But then all of a sudden he kind of feels it, and then he fucking crushes it.
Yeah, he does. And this, by the way, these were the lyrics I was defending. Not the 2 at a time, $1.99, Golden Corral rapping, whatever it was. So, yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job at 13. Not bad.
Yeah.
I could understand him. He wasn't mumbling through it. You know, like.
It was solid.
I thought it was all right.
It was all right.
Look, it's better than anything I could do given any amount of time of practice. I guarantee it.
Is it customary? Why do rappers, like, when they hold the microphone? Like, I'm not saying you got to hold the microphone like a goddamn ice cream cone. But I'm saying, please don't hold the fucking microphone up like this, like you polishing the shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I never understood that.
I don't get it. Like at that point, like just have a wireless mic so you can just do all this.
A lot of rappers when they do concerts do.
Yeah.
You know, because it's easier to do the hand gestures, whatever the hell it is you were just doing.
That's what they do, right?
In your Jay-Z impression.
Right, like that's what they do, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I guess they still have mics now. Rappers still hold the mic.
I saw.
Yeah, how else are you gonna drop it? Right? They do that, right?
When's the last time you went to a concert?
Most Def, a couple years ago.
Or a hip hop concert.
Yeah.
I was
about to say, wasn't it Maxwell, your favorite artist?
Oh yeah, Maxwell. Yeah.
Your favorite artist.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great way to spend my birthday.
There's a little inside joke.
Seeing fucking Maxwell.
The guy you're in love with.
Oh, I absolutely love Maxwell. Love all that shit. Love all that shit.
It's great. Your wife is probably like, okay.
I'm right. She's like, we gotta go to another Maxwell concert? God, what is it with you and Maxwell? Jesus Christ. What do you mean to tell me that you're going to go to it if it comes anywhere near here again?
To New York?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, you're a huge Maxwell fan. So yeah, I thought that scene was pretty cool. It was cool to see him have that level of confidence because the second he gets off stage, he's like high-fiving everybody, like, oh shit, son, like what's the next thing I get to do? And he was super excited. And that was kind of cool considering his time at the talent show did not go nearly as well. So it was like an actual win for the character, which was cool. And Katrin was like super impressed by it.
Yeah, she was very, very impressed. After the party, the group goes to a house of, I guess, one of the roadies. I don't know
Yeah, somebody was there.
Per and Katrin are about to get it on in a room, and Morris comes in as Captain Cockblocker, and he's like, before he could even get a word out, Per is like, "Oh, hey man, you did a great job. Close the door on your way out."
Yeah, he really did.
Another room, right? Like,
And it was funny because like Per was already like undressing and like trying to make. It was like the door was barely closed. He was like, "I gotta get these clothes off and hurry up with this 15-year-old girl, even though I'm in college." Okay.
And Morris was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll leave," and then he comes back because he was like, "Nah, man, I just had to settle my life. Like, I want some fucking German ass." So he comes back in, and he was like, and
he sort of Kool-Aid manned it. Like,
he Kool-Aid manned it, and Paris like, "Yo, what you doing, yo? Like, bro code, man. Like, you see what's about to go down." And Morris tackles him and throws him up against the wall.
Yeah, he gave him. What was that guy who did the spear in the WWE?
Which one? Goldberg, Edge, Rhino.
Yeah, I was thinking you're Rhino, but Goldberg works. Yeah.
And he spears him up against the wall, and Per is like, "Yo, nothing stops me from getting pussy." And he grabs a lamp and is about to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's getting ready to beat up a 13-year-old kid. It was kind of hilarious, like, dude.
Yo, guys,
take it easy.
Guys just aren't in their right mind when they just, all the blood goes from here to here. Like, they're just not.
No, we just forget everything. It's the
turn into fucking animals.
Animals, yeah. It's the it's like the South Park thing where it was like there's a girl that like starts coming to the school that they're interested in, and all the guys every time they get near, they start acting like cavemen and like banging on the table, and like they get like really like caveman looking faces. It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous.
He's about to beat the shit out of Morris, and Morris knows it. He braces himself for this beating. And Katrin stops him and is like, "You're bleeding," to Per. And you know, it essentially saves Marcus. Marcus. Why do I keep calling him motherfucking Marcus? Saves Morris. And
As Marcus is a black ass name, that's why.
yeah. Morris apologizes. Katrin is disgusted with him, and you know, she was like, he was nothing but nice to you.
And he was.
Right, and he was.
I mean, he did kind of put you on, like, to allow you to rap over and
Right.
modem booting up beats.
How about they turned the beat off because like this shit is trash. I don't need this beat while I'm trying to freestyle.
Morris goes to sleep in the bathtub and is awakened by the sound of a man pissing right
Unacceptable. I cannot stress to you enough how unacceptable that is. I hate in movies.
Sleeping in the bathtub? Or?
Well, yes. The only time you should sleep in a bathtub is if you've thrown up on yourself and your friends throw you in there to just rinse you off like an animal. 2, don't pee anywhere near my head ever. Like anywhere near my head. That's gross.
Hey, look, if you're in the fucking
you
bathtub,
in his house.
Dude,
right,
knock on the door
bathtub.
and be like, get out. Like, come on, man. Show me some common courtesy. No.
No, get the fuck out of my bathtub.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Like, just let me know. Just let me know. You can yell, it's fine, because I don't want to be anywhere in the vicinity of blowback. Like, no, man, I don't need that.
I don't think he was that close.
Let's not even risk it. Here's the thing: you're gonna lay your head down in a bathroom floor.
Oh god.
No, exactly. Well,
Unless I'm fucking passed out drunk.
Well, there you go.
I ain't sleeping in no tub, yo. Fuck that.
Nah, I wouldn't sleep in the tub in the first place. But he slept in the tub because there was somebody snoring and fucking.
Yeah, he couldn't sleep in the
Like, I can't sleep when somebody's snoring. I want to slit your throat. Like, seriously, I can't stand it.
No.
That shit drives me crazy. Like, if someone, because I don't snore.
Yeah, neither do I.
Like, I do not snore, and when I'm trying to sleep when someone else is snoring, I just want to punch them in the face until they, like, pass out. So they're not snoring.
Just hold their face.
I don't know. I can't.
A pillow.
Ugh. I hate it. I really do.
Maybe that's why you're not getting any sleep.
That's not why.
The homeowner the peer informs Morris that everyone has left him, and Morris wanders around. He eventually finds a payphone.
Stuttgart.
They went to Stuttgart. I think
They were in Frankfurt, I think.
Yeah, I think he was in Frankfurt.
No, I thought they went to Frankfurt and he was stuck in Stuttgart.
Whatever.
They're all weird.
Yeah, it all sounds like German sex line stuff to me. Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Berlin. All right.
Dusseldorf.
Morris eventually finds a payphone and he calls Inga and he's like, Inga, I need a ride. My dad said it's okay to call you. You know, just don't call him. Don't call him. Don't call him. Don't call him.
He told me to call you.
He told me to call you.
And then he said to call you.
He told me to call you and for you to not call him.
But to only call me back.
Right.
Like, this sounds suspect, but okay.
And Inga was like, all right, I know what to do.
That's kind of far.
Right.
I'm a college student. I ain't got no gas money. Oh, your daddy.
And so Inga tells him to wait there, and Morris's dad shows up to pick his son up. And
So she dimed him out.
And they have another bonding moment in the car. It was a backstory on how the parents met.
Well, not how they met, but how Curtis went and saw the mother when she was in Germany. They had met before. They had only known each other, I think he said 3 months.
Yeah. And we have a clip of the last part of that conversation.
Love will make you do some stupid shit, Mo. And I'm not trying to keep you from experiencing that shit. I'm not trying to keep you from experiencing anything. My job is to raise you right. And it's hard, man, especially if you're not gonna be on my team, you know? I know I put you in the fire by bringing us here, and you might be still mad at me about that. But I make the best decisions I can for you, period. I was in Berlin interviewing for a job with their team to get us out of here. I don't want to tell you because who knows if I get it or not. But I'm trying, you know, because it's hard out here for me too. You gotta remember, we're in the same boat. So get on my team, man. Tell me what's going on, and I'll be there for you. We the only two brothers in Heidelberg. We gotta stick together, you know what I'm saying?
How'd you know it was a girl?
It's always a girl, Mom.
I do hate it here.
My man. I know. But check it. I know you don't want to hear this right now, but one day, when you lighten the hip-hop world on fire, it'll be because you have a unique perspective. And when you collecting all your Source Awards, you'll thank me.
Source Awards. Is that as far as I get in your dreams?
All right, you're
Can
right.
I get a Grammy or something?
Nobel Prize, how about that? Thank me in that speech.
So I'm not in trouble?
Oh no, you grounded like a motherfucker.
So, again, look, I'm taking a lot of notes from Craig Robinson.
I thought that was a great scene. I really did.
Yeah.
I liked that he started as angry as he clearly was at Morris. I like that he started with an anecdote about him meeting Morris's mother or seeing his mother in Germany, and it helped to diffuse the situation to a point where it was like it stopped being about how Morris fucked up, and it became more of a common experience. And then he went into the parenting thing, which was the beginning of that clip. So I don't know. I thought it worked. It's a nice way to not just go, boy, you know what you done, blah, blah. You know, like he started to ease him down and then be like, look.
Right, he's like, the kid already knows he fucked up.
Right.
Like at that point, he fucked up big time.
Oh,
like he's in a different freaking
city.
Like, come on, man, you can't do that.
And not only is he in a different city, he's in a different city when he was told to stay home, where he was being trusted to stay home and like have this big responsibility, and he blew it immediately.
Yeah.
Right. Because of a woman.
Yeah, I mean, but it's an experience, and it doesn't matter that it's in Germany. It doesn't matter that Morris is black. It doesn't matter that Katrin is white. It doesn't matter that she speaks a different language and all that. All it is a common theme, a common thread between all people, which is the stupid shit you're willing to do for the girl or for guys at least, the stupid things you're willing to do for a guy who's in love the first time.
Yeah. And
you do really dumb things. Holy shit. We don't have enough time for me to go through the litany of dumb shit I did. So it's heartbreaking because that moment where he says, "How'd you know it was a girl?" and Curtis says, "It's always a girl." It's a perfect moment in that movie, I thought.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
So there's one last tutoring session because Inca tells Morris that she's going to New York. She's about to graduate.
Yeah.
And Morris goes home, gets a letter in the mail. The letter is from Katrin. She says that while she's not sorry for leaving him because she feels it was the best thing to do, she is sorry.
And it was.
It was. She is sorry that she never got a chance to say goodbye. But she is very happy to have met him. And I believe that. And she attached a picture of the selfie that was taken earlier to leave with him as a memento.
Yeah, and to sort of a kind of wrapping up point, it's interesting because he, like we said earlier, he represents this new person brought into her life, brought into that town. She's from this small town. But she decides that she's going to move to Berlin with Pear. Again, she's 15. Like, I cannot stress that enough. This girl smokes, does ecstasy, goes to 30-year-old parties, and has decided that she's going to leave home, run away from home and go live in Berlin. But it's clear that she does all of these things, or not all of these things, but she's like excited to do those things because here she meets Morris. And Morris inspires her to like do these new things and like listen to Jay-Z because she mentions that in the letter and stuff like that. Yeah. And Morris is kind of the catalyst for her to go off and do these things. Yeah, so they both gained something from it.
He broadened her world.
Yeah. And she broadens his world by showing him what heartbreak is, because that is an important unfortunate but important lesson that every guy has to go through.
Yeah.
And women too, I'm sure. But just from a guy's perspective, every guy goes through that. And it hardens you in certain ways. And it
Yup.
it hardens you in certain ways. But it also teaches you things that you find acceptable and not acceptable for other relationships when you grow up.
Yep.
Now they you look so bitter. And we never touched on the relationship between her and her mother.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't.
She seemed like she was such a terrible person to her mom, and her mother didn't necessarily seem like she was a bad mother.
I think they sort of implied that the father isn't around. So I guess
he's not there, but
I guess it's a divorce thing.
But like, why the fuck was she such a bitch to her mother?
I think it's just 15-year-old girl being angry at her mom because her mom is there. I mean, yeah.
Kinda,
I mean, you have a sister. I mean,
I have a sister.
I mean, your mom is like a pretty sweet person. I'm sure your mom and your sister get into it.
They both got issues.
Yeah.
But it's always a little of one and a little of the other.
Sure.
And it's like the problem is in the film we don't see the other from the mother.
No,
you know
she's
what
just
I mean?
like, hey everybody, and she's like,
can you
fuck
help
you,
me
mom?
move a desk? Fuck you, bitch. Like, oh, okay. I was just asking questions. I'm sorry.
I mean, she literally was like, can you help me move a desk on Saturday? Like, I have a concert to go to. Like, fuck off. It's like, damn, all right.
Like, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, that
15.
going to Berlin. Deuces, mom. I did think that was kind of funny. Like, can you help me move a desk? I hate you, mom. Like, Jesus Christ, take it easy.
Crazy to me.
But yeah, you don't get to see the mom's perspective in that.
Yeah.
All you know is that her parents are likely divorced. And so that's enough, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, great movie. Really enjoyed it.
All right. So make sure that if you like the show, click on that little link that's in the corner there to subscribe on YouTube, blackonblackcinema.com/YouTube, or just search for us on YouTube itself. Obviously, if you're just listening, we can be found on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play as well, and of course on our website, blackonblackcinema.com. We will see you guys next week for another preview episode. Later, guys.
We out.